Well, round 14 at the Richmond Oval. West Adelaide came as the underdog, the favourites you would have thought, but Central District, they had something to say about that.
They certainly did, in atrocious conditions here, and it got worse as the day went on. We saw Central District really come out to play. They had got away to a fast start. They were playing against the fastest starters in the SANFL in West Adelaide, who won 9 of their first 12 first quarters so far this year, but they didn't want to play to that script. They played to their own script, Central District. They got out of the blocks quick there and led all day and played a brilliant brand of wet weather footy.
Did spoil the party there for Ryan Ferguson in his 100th goal. He did have a fantastic running shot there. That was really good work in there from Ferguson. Callanan was one player that really struggled to stop, and Josh Glenn, of course, bobbing up from defence. He was outstanding all day.
Yeah, and Big Hardy up forward was really good as well. We see Gilhouse here, who was another one of the tall forwards, and Ruckman during the day. But Hardy kicked 4 goals, which was great in wet weather footy. He was the dominant tall forward for the day. But it was the small players of, we see Hardy there taking a mark, it was the small players of Central District that made the difference. They rotated well through their midfield. They had lots of goal kickers, and they played, as we said, a great brand of wet weather footy and came away with the points.
Conversely, West Adelaide seemed to struggle in the conditions, seemed to struggle on home turf there. John O'Beach did bob up in the third term, had the 4 shots on goal, converted 2 of them. They looked like they were making a run at that point, Rocket, but then the rain came down and Central steadied.
Yeah, they did, and they played with some guts, but unfortunately they lost a couple of players during the event of the day, and that their rotation suffered as well through that. And it really put them in a position where they couldn't win the game come the last quarter. But they fought on valiantly. There was a lot of good stuff to like about West, but at the end of the day, it was Central District. And we've seen them, and they've had a 13-year reign of good footy in the SANFL, and they certainly dug deep and drew on that experience and played well today.
Braden O'Hara, another player who really adapted very strongly to the conditions. He was very good finishing from the back lines, did drift down there for the goal, and that was one of the nails in the coffin, you sense, really, for the Bloods, who they couldn't get the margin back beyond about 10 points all day.
That's right, and here's a classic example here of where they just kept pushing forward and outnumbered the opposition when they had to try and finish off. They really wanted this victory. It was an important victory for them. They need to stay in the 5, and to come out and win by 13 points against the second team on the ladder, so it was second versus 5th, was a great victory.
Central's leading from pillar to post, 14 points at quarter time, 16 at half time, 9 points there at 3/4 time, and in the final margin there was 13 points to the Bulldogs, 10-9-69 to 7-14. Poor kicking there by the Bloods, 56. And looking at the stats here, they certainly do tell a tale. The Bloods had more disposals, they had more marks and more free kicks, but the centre breaks and the inside 50s, that's where the game's won and lost.
Absolutely, and the centre breaks went their way, particularly after quarter time for the Bulldogs. They had a clear ascendancy there, and the inside 50s, 53 to 40. That's a big margin in a game like today, but it was the way they used it. They were very efficient. They went deep inside 50 and played a typical Central District brand of game where they put the ball to the top of the goal square and finish off with their smalls.